Bang! Yeah, 713, don't step in this league, throwing rocks at the backboard. Living our dream, better dribble to the three, take the shot, here a cash drawer. And we don't even care what you say, we ain't scared of the hate, get a win in this last board. Stand in the paint, better clear out the way, hit the court with the black force energy. Every single week on a killing spree, you kidding me? You talk about winning with the epitome, you better be talking with peace and we locking the key on them. Know that it's rocking with Ryan and Donte, the drip guy, we beyond the gossip, the topics we talk on a pop and we conquering the obstacles that we cross as a team. Shot from the seats, we the Rockets like Elon. It's the H-Town Run Down. Let's get started right now.
Hey everybody, this is Preston with the H-Town Rundown Houston Rockets basketball podcast. I appreciate all of you joining me today. It is a beautiful, beautiful Wednesday afternoon, and make sure to follow the podcast at the HTRD on X, Instagram, YouTube, and follow H-Town Rundown on TikTok as well. Check us out there. You can follow me at drip2ps _GAWD on X as well as Instagram, YouTube. It's been a little bit, boys. It's just a little solo pod today. It's gonna be nice, quick, and simple. Not a whole lot to hit home on. It's been the All-Star break, so I'd like to start with that. Then we'll go ahead and move into some second half of the year or post-All-Star break expectations. And then after that, let's go ahead and preview this Charlotte Hornets game for tomorrow night. So starting off with immediately, All-Star break. I hate to say it. It seems like it's dying off. It's probably a common take at this point, but it's just not really going places I would like to see it, right? The only person really competitive out of a lot of the teams was Kawhi. He was really good. Anthony Edwards was phenomenal. That's why he won All-Star MVP. And then, of course, we're also looking at guys like, I don't even know, right? Reed played well, right? I do want to talk a little bit about Reed and kind of talk about what I saw from him. And it's more or less a tribute to the coaching itself and how they used him, the way he was able to be ran, the screens, right? I saw more offensive plays ran for Reed Sheppard than anybody else. Actually, matter of fact, I'm going to say this, right? I saw Reed Sheppard be used like so well in his All-Star game, at least the first one anyway. I saw him be used so well that first game. I was appalled, right? Now, did he get much time? No. Stephon Castle kind of, I'm not going to say iced him out, but Castle got the opportunity. Reed Sheppard did not, sadly. It is what it is that second game. But that first game, man, he was showing out. He was getting a lot of great screenplays. He was able to be a productive player. And I'm honestly hoping Ime, and all the greatness that he is, takes what he saw against, when he played for Team Mello, I suppose, and implicates some of that into how Reed Sheppard will play going forward, right? That's kind of what the expectations for coaching specifically, to make sure that they hook the boy Reed up, right? If he's supposed to be this either dude off the bench or if he's going to be the point guard of the future, I don't know what the plan is for him right now, but hopes and dreams, right? And one of the hopes and dreams I have for him is to make sure Reed Sheppard get a little bit more time, man. I want to see Reed do more things and be more of this great player that I expect him to be. So I think that would be absolutely huge to see Reed get some of those screenplays ran, see more DHOs, right? Pin down screens, gosh dang it, get him open, bro. I'm not saying he needs 30 shots a game, but just get him the ball more and more opportunity. He's been doing really, really well this year, honestly, and probably my favorite to win the most improved player of the year, of course, but I'm a little biased. So if it can't be that per se, I like to make sure that Reed at least is in the conversation, right? He's averaging 13, 2, 6, and 3, right? 2, 6 rebounds, 3 assists per game. Pretty good. 39% from 3. Pretty good, right? For a second-year guard, that's not bad, especially a guy that's not even a focal point of the offense, right? I would say I like to see more Reed getting involved, and we have seen that uptick a little bit, even over his last 5 games, he shot over 10 shots a game, and 3 out of the 5 of those putting up 17, 16, and 17 points back to back to back, and hitting a couple threes, right? Hit 5 threes against the Clippers that second game we did lose, but then he hit 4 the game we did win. That's pretty nice. And then going all the way back to the first Boston loss, he did hit 3 of 8. So I'm liking what I'm seeing from Reed. I'm liking what the offense can bring to this guy. But hopefully he can be even better, right? And that's what I expect to see out of him. So, but enough of that, right? I All-Star Weekend was kind of a wash. I hope dude that hurt his head, right? Trying to do that dunk. Hopefully he's all right. Other than that, I don't know. All-Star Weekend was kind of a wash. It's kind of boring. Damian Lillard won the 3-point contest, even though he hasn't played a single game. Incredible. That's it. Şengün and KD were all stars. I did like to see that, I suppose, right? It's cool to see your possible GOAT for the Rockets. Not really. But your boy, Alperen Şengün, being all star, especially at the age that he is, averaging, 21, 9, and 6, just absolutely great stats, along with being able to see your boy Kevin Durant have another all star under his belt. So James Harden got snubbed, but it's a Rockets podcast, so let's keep it there. Moving on, post All-Star break expectations. Okay, Rockets currently are sitting 4th in the West, right? Just same amount of wins currently as the Lakers, and just one win from the 7th seed Phoenix Suns. Yikes! A lot of excuses, a lot of reasons as to why, but regardless, we only got one more win. Not a great way to start the year. We are currently 1-5 in overtime and 6-4 over our last 10. Not great stats. Pouring on to that negativity, we are currently 20th in points per game at 114. Yikes, right? And that reflects what we have seen, especially the last 10, 15 games of our offense. It has not been great. It kind of has been doo-doo. We needed this All-Star break. We just kind of crawled into this one like we have in the last couple All-Star breaks. It's not great habit to get into, but not great things to talk about the Rockets here. And then, of course, we're still bottom of the barrel in assists per game, about 24.7. Yikes. Okay. We do have the 4th best defense, right? Let's get into some positivity. We do have the 4th best defense in the league right now at 109.6. So, we are a +5 in the plus-minus bracket overall. So that's pretty solid in our total net rating. And then we're also still 1st in rebounds per game. We've been top 2 in rebounds per game for the last 4 seasons. So very clearly a staple of our overall game. But regardless, still some kinks to work out for the Rockets. So what are some expectations for the Rockets? Well, let's be honest here. Expectation is actually, let's just lay it out there, right? Tari Eason in and out of the lineup all year. DFS is coming back from injury. Let's be blunt. He's been booty. I hate to say it. He's not been great. Hopefully he gets back in rhythm. He made some plays last couple of games. I was kind of like appreciating, but other than that, just not been great. And then we're moving on to, I would say, Fred VanVleet. Ooh, is he even coming back, right? The Mavs just announced Kyrie's not coming back. He's done for the rest of the year. And I think that's a good move. I think it's the right move for the Mavs. I don't know their entire direction, whether they're going to keep Kyrie or trade him. I have no idea. But Kyrie not playing. So if Kyrie not playing, is Fred VanVleet going to come into play? Especially because Kyrie tore his ACL way before Fred. Kyrie not coming back for this year. Is Fred coming back? They keep talking about it. They keep saying, oh, maybe, possibility. I would love for Fred to come back. I think the over idea of it was great on paper, but he's got to work with the team. He's got to gel with the team again. And yes, it's easy to fit in any play style that Kevin Durant has, but regardless, he takes away shots from everybody, takes away minutes and opportunity from everybody, as well as what kind of ball handling situation do men falls back into, what kind of ball handling situation does Reed Shepherd fall back into? What are we looking at the overall team? Şengün's touches, Jabari's touches, right? Tari Eason's touches. What happens to the team itself? So Tari Eason in and out of the lineup. Fred VanVleet probably done maybe for the season unless we go to a postseason, but even that I'm wishy-washy on. And then, of course, we're also looking at the final point being, Steven Adams being done for the whole year, right? Big key players there, right? Especially signing Steven Adams for the season. He's been great for us, especially coming off that hot season he had last year, right? Especially the offensive rebounding. We'd love to see it. What's he going to look like now? Okay. He's hurt again. He's been hurt, 2-3 years, right? In and out. Yikes. So what are we looking at, right? Capella has been a solid replacement. I've appreciated what he's done in his time, but still, that's no Steven Adams, right? He gives you a different kind of big man, a guy that can catch those lobs, which we need, but that strength, I don't want to say durability, but the strength and the way he corrals rebounds, right? He just commands them. We don't see that from Capella, right? It's just a different kind of big man. That's okay. but we need those offensive rebounds, right? One of the reasons why we have been losing, right, especially as of late, because we get out rebounded, right? We keep looking at some of these losses again, looking at against the going back real quick, but just looking at some of these losses real quick against games like the Clippers, right? Shouldn't have lost that second game. Yikes, right? We beat OKC. Now, did they have their key players? No. Yikes. But we're missing Fred VanVleet and Steve Adams. Like, we're still missing people. And then, of course, we lost to Chicago. Somehow they beat our ass. And then Boston. So we're looking at a couple teams that we would like to have beaten, that we could have beaten, but unfortunately we did not beat, right? Those are wins we needed for sure, especially as tightly contested as the West is. And going back to the West, just take a little look in the standings again. We are 2 wins away from the 3rd seed. We're 5 wins away from the 2nd seed, right? So 2 through 7 are within 6 wins. That's just like last year, just absolute bloodbath. And of course, the OKC are just absolutely on a tear, 42 and 14. But side story, Pistons have 40 wins as well. So something to watch out for. Are they gonna make noise? I don't know. Hopefully not as much noise as us though, right? As Rockets fans. But we will hope to see something moving on. So specifically from the team, right? Let's lay it out there. Tyrese and Bro, I just need you to play. I just need you to be out there, get you some more consistent minutes, right? You've been really good in the time that you've been out there. Hopefully that does increase and keep going. Jabari Smith Jr., bro, you've been really solid, actually. People want to kind of LARP on him for that 8-game stretch he had that was not great. Cool. Make sure your praise is just as loud as your negativity was, okay? Your criticism should, it's okay to put it out there, but you can criticize players, but if they play well, you got to praise them, right? And Jabari's been solid. Shooting well from 3. He's been solid defensively, especially his last couple of games. I mean, gosh dang, he had a stretch where he had like 8 blocks in 2 games, 9 blocks in 2 games. Crazy. Love to see it from Jabari, right? Looking like the locksmith we saw a couple of years back when he was clamping Giannis, right? We all remember that, right? It was the highlight of the year. So hopefully I look to see more of that aggression defensively from Jabari, and then just keep knocking down open shots, right? He hasn't been shooting great from wide open shots, so hopefully that trend keeps ticking up, especially with Kevin Durant on the floor. You're going to get so many open shots. You just got to knock them down when you get that all comes down to consistency, right? So that's what I'm expecting from Tari and Jabari, right? Moving on to Reed Shepherd. I just want to see him play more. And that's not even on him, man. That's on coaching, right? I expect the coaching, like I mentioned before, to run more plays for Reed, but specifically Reed himself. I want to see him make some of more of those above the break passes, right? I want to see him make some more of those, I won't say flashy, but high IQ point guard level plays, right? And again, he's only been running it this season so far as a part-time point guard. 30% of the duties on him compared to, 60, 70% of the duties on Amen Thompson. But I would just like to see him have more of that kind of point guard command there, right? Honestly, the starting lineup, when you look at Reed, Amen, KD, Jabari, and Şengün, looks pretty good, not just on paper, but also the numbers and how we're outscoring people. So I would hope to see that more often. Josh Okogie's really solid. I like him in there. And I also like Tari Eason starting too, right? I wouldn't be mad if Tari Eason starts. I get it. But having Reed out there running the show next to Kevin Durant, next to Jabari, next to Amen, next to Şengün just looks really, really good. So hopefully I see that more. And then out of the starting 5, I want to go to just the other point guard, Amen Thompson, just right away. I expect him to be more defensively attuned, right? We saw once he has less duties to worry about offensively, he performs way better defensively. So if we can maybe corral just a little bit of that responsibility away from him so he can focus on the defensive end. And Thompson is always best when his defense is his number 1 priority. So I'd like to make that more of a priority instead of it falling down a couple steps like it has, right? He's obviously the same player as he was last year. He's better in a lot of different categories. But because he's having to kind of shift his mentality here and there, worry about too many different things, I feel like his defense has like kind of dipped just a little bit. Not on him, okay? It's a product of the environment that he's in. You got to remember that. So hopefully they take away a little bit more of the responsibility, give a little bit more of that to Reed, and then hopefully they can allow Amen Thompson to play at that all defensive level guy that we know he can be. I mean, you see his brother over there for Detroit. He's going crazy. I'm not saying they're the same person, but they twins for a reason. Come on, man. That's kind of what I expect out of him. Let's go ahead and move on to Şengün, okay? Specifically for Alperen Şengün. Matter of fact, let's do Şengün and KD, right? these turnovers that they getting, bro. They both get 3 turnovers a game. Brother, brother, Katie, some of these turnovers, bro, I'd be banging my head against the wall, bro. I don't know how he'd be getting these, but it's like these lazy ass, like half court passes he'd be doing. It just irritate me, right? Now, sometimes you don't see the double team coming. I get it, bro. Right? That's not necessarily on you. You gotta be put in a good position to succeed, right? If you're put in a position that you're gonna fail, you're gonna fail. You're gonna do your best, but you're still gonna fail, right? At the end of the day, though, when they double you, you know you're gonna get that double. Your team needs to be open so you can make that pass, right? Otherwise, you're gonna hold on to the ball, right? Damn, just call a timeout and piss off coach at this point. Might as well, might as well. But just kind of both of KD and Shingun just cutting down those turnovers just a little bit, right? But overall, I mean, again, they were both all-stars. Okay, Shingun was an injury replacement after a while, right? But regardless, Shingun should have been an all-star, So I'm glad he was, and hopefully he continues to trend up instead of kind of this. He's just missing too many bunnies, right? This is kind of what we saw last year. I haven't seen him take a single flamingo shot all season. I don't know if that's coaching telling him no, if that's his own mentality saying I shouldn't take these. But I want him to kind of get back into what he was doing last year, where he was able to at least pull the defense out further than 3 feet, right? Because, I mean, you can do all these pirouettes, you can get that layup. I get it, man. You can get there, but you got to diversify your shot. Otherwise, if they know, oh, man, he's only going to hit that 2 49% of the time, you're going to make him take that, or you're going to make him take a 3 over anything else in the game and just guard him one-on-one, which we have seen, right? Now, they are guarding him kind of with weak side shot defenders, weak side block defenders, right? When he's on a smaller defender. I get that. But when he's got someone against his size, they just live him with the bucket he gives him, So I would like to see him force the issue just a little bit more, pull his defender out a little bit, and then it creates more opportunity for everybody else. We talk about spacing all the time. Let's get that spacing going. Okay. That's when we were earlier in the season. I mean, man, we were hot. We could not miss from 3, bro. One of the best 3-point shooting teams in the league. We also took only like 22, right? We're only taking 27, 28 now still, right? Still bottom of the league for 3-point attempts. Top 5 for 3-point percentage. Great, but percentage don't mean nothing if you're not taking them. Okay, so you got to take them, right? And it's a make or miss league at this point. So any shot you don't take, you know what I mean? It don't matter. So just take some threes, see what you can work on, and build that offense up, right? So KD, Shingun, we went over men as well as Reed, right? Went over Jabari. More or less, I'm going to combine the bench for this part of the half. Just make sure that they play in collective, right? Just stand ready, getting their time. There is still that open roster spot. I'm hoping J.D. Davison will get it. He's been probably out of the, I don't want to say like low signings, but like two-way signings, right? Out of the guys that we kind of pulled in this year just to see what can help for the bench. I like J.D., man. He's an okay playmaker. He can rebound for his size. He attacks the rim. He's not afraid to shoot the ball. I like him. Okay. I hope he kind of develops more of that Aaron Holiday offensive skill set, but also increasing his playmaking like IQ at the same time. But I'm asking too much of him right now. So let's see what he develops into. And hopefully Houston keeps him. Hopefully we re-sign him for next season. But I expect to see him not necessarily get a bigger role, but maybe some more opportunity once you start blowing teams out. Because we should be blowing teams out going forward, right? We need to stay away from OT. Again, we're 1 of 5 at OT. So we need to stay away from overtime and just whoop ass throughout the whole rest of the game and get us some wins for real. But yeah, J.D. Davison, phenomenal guy. Hopefully he continues to grow. But the rest of the bench, just make your opportunity count, right? Steven Adams, rest up. Fred VanVleet, rest up, bro. Don't stress yourself. But coaching staff-wise, right? The big thing I want to see from them for post-All-Star break is diversifying their offensive palette. What do I mean by that? Again, when Reed Sheppard was on Team Mello, the type of DHOs, screenplays, pin down screens. I mean, man, they were running floppy for you, right? I saw more plays out of that than Reed has had all season in a single game, okay? I need more of that. Not just because it suits Reed's play style, right? But also because it was effective, okay? Carmelo, would you trying to get that offensive head coaching position out here in Houston? He looked kind of good out there. I'm not going to lie. Now, he did lose the second one. I'm not really worried about it. But he did really well with the offense, with what he had specifically. So maybe Reed Sheppard can kind of get some of those opportunities. But I could see that for Tari Eason, right? Running some floppy for him. He's a great catch-and-shoot guy, still one of the top guys, 3-point percentage for the league. Pair him up with those two, and then Jabari just out there. And, man, diversify KD's shot a little bit. Let him do what he wants. And run some screenplays for him to get some catch and shoot for him, right? Instead of forcing him to play ISO. We suck at ISO. Stop making everyone play ISO. Let's do what works. this, right? Run some of these plays and see what happens, right? Live with the result. But for the overall team, okay, the overall team, second half of the year or second half of the post All-Star break, right? What I'm looking for is for us to not lose, right? So we played 53 games total. Okay, we're 33-20, not bad, right? But very similar to where we were last year. Okay, I think we've got one more win than we did last year at this point, and we ended up as the second seed. Okay, at 50 wins. Cool. Okay, 53 games have been played. We got 33 wins. Okay. We've got, what was that, 29 more games left? Okay. We should win 65% of them, 70% of them, I'm feeling like, right? If we got 29 wins, I mean, gosh, we got to win. I don't want to say crazy, but we got to win 22, bro. And the season with 52 wins plus, I think is the idea just because of seeding, right? The Spurs are hot, right? They got the second best record in the West right now at, what are we looking at? 38 wins, right? But if we can honestly hit that 2 spot, cool. Now, most people predicted that the records would fall between 2 and 4 anyway, and that's without injuries. Okay, we're meeting expectations at a baseline. Okay, so that's cool. That's cool. We shouldn't falter any further. Okay, at worst, we finish at the 4th seed. We get 50 wins. Okay, still meeting expectations, but climbing up a little bit. Okay, let's get these wins up just a notch, be a little bit better, and I really think it's possible. Still got all the right pieces. You missed a couple pieces, yes, but you're supposed to adapt. Okay, you're supposed to adapt to change. And what can you do? Diversifying your portfolio offensively and defensively. What are you supposed to do coaching wise? What are you supposed to do as a player? What kind of plays can you work on? What kind of key players can you switch in and out here and there? What kind of substitution patterns are you running? Should you switch it up? Okay, what is working? What isn't working? And what can you work on? Are all things that should be known at this point in practice. Work on those things. Use those things to your advantage. Okay. Now, last bit here. Not too much to really worry about. We got to play the Charlotte Hornets tomorrow. Charlotte, not a terrible team, right? Not a terrible team necessarily. They currently have 26 wins, right? 29 losses, so they have a negative record, right? Sitting at 47% win rate for the year. They are currently 9th in the East. They're kind of nice though, right? They're kind of nice. They did beat us last time we played them, I believe. So we have to absolutely watch out for them. They beat us, and they have these are the stats they have more on, right? They average more points per game, more assists per game, and they also shoot a better from 3-point percentage than us. Yikes! And have better free throw percentage. We out rebound them by 2, maybe closer to 3, but that's not effective. Okay, so we're gonna really have to be on the glass now. They've got a really unique team where multiple players are their highest stat, right? LaMelo is their highest points per game and assist getter. Ryan Kalkbrenner is their leading shot blocker at 1.5 blocks per game. And then Musa Diabate, he is their leading rebounder. Okay, so we average more points, more rebounds, less blocks. Okay, so we average more points, rebounds than them in the large stat column, with Şengün being the rebounds guy, and then KD being our points guy. Okay, so that's kind of nice, but we get outblocked, right? Ryan to Şengün, and then LaMelo leads them in assists per game by a whole assist ahead of us. They play fast. They have solid defense. They're tenacious, and one thing they don't do is give up on the offensive end, right? They do crash the rebounds. They're not afraid to shoot threes either, right? Especially LaMelo. He will pull it from half court if he's hot. Can't let that man get hot. Trap. Be ready for the pass, especially these entry passes, because they do be getting turnovers too. We have to watch out for those. So trapping at high levels to keep the pressure on LaMelo. He is solid in clutch, but if you can prevent him from getting hot, I mean, that's got to be the recipe. So we want to do is out-rebound them, outshoot them, and just be the better basketball team. This is the team you're supposed to be. We have been losing at teams we were supposed to be. We cannot do that this time. We have to go in, show them what's up, and send the ass home. Right. That's all I got for this episode. So make sure you follow at the HTRD, at the HTM right now on X as well as Instagram, YouTube, and follow me at _GAWD on X as well as Instagram, YouTube. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. And I will see you guys next time. Go Rockets. Let's whoop Charlotte, man.